Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports. We here at Rockhurst University. Who do we have here?
My name is Smrt. I'm a senior quarterback.
How long you been playing?
Ever since 5th grade.
How long you been starting?
This was my first year starting.
First year starting?
Mm-hmm.
What was your season like last year?
As a team, we went all the way to state. Didn't win it, but had a really fun season.
What was your personal season like?
I got some minutes late in games, and actually our starter went down in the semifinal game. I played a lot there and then started actually in the state championship game.
All right. What have been some of your accomplishments as you played quarterback all 4 years?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's been some of your accomplishments?
I say my biggest accomplishment for me is just I get to be with my teammates every day, and I love leading that huddle and calling the plays out and being their leader out there.
You have any rivalries?
I think our schedule is pretty tough, and I think Coach Seth does a good job of making sure that there's not a single game that's a cupcake for us. And I think we play Blue Springs every year for so long, and Jeff City, and you got teams inside the city like Miege and Blue Valley that we get to play sometimes, and I think every game has its own rivalry to it.
With Cascade Sports being home to student athlete, how important is your education?
It's really important. I think my parents, it was a big deal for them to send me to Rockhurst. I don't think it really had much to do with athletics or anything, but the education I would get here.
Have you had any college looks?
I've had a couple interests with some coaches.
Excellent. So what do you feel your season will look like, your personal season? Have you set goals for this season?
I don't know if I have many individual goals. For me, as long as our offense is moving the ball in the field and scoring touchdowns, and as long as we're scoring enough to win, that's all I really care about.
You know one thing, I've interviewed 4 athletes already, and it seemed like you really have a good coaching staff, because every time I try to talk about individual accomplishments, y'all talk about team accomplishments.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Savvy's been here for so long, along with all of his assistants, and we love all of them so much, and they really do a good job of making sure that it's about the players, and we in return have to make sure it's about all of each other.
Are you one of the captains?
We don't have captains right now. I don't know what the situation will be like for that.
All right. Who's been one of the major influences in your life?
I'd say my dad's probably one of my biggest role models. I think he just works hard every day, everything he does, and I've never heard him say anything wrong to me or any of my siblings. And as far as he was a student athlete too. He played college football. I think I just always looked up to him.
Excellent. Are you shouting out?
No, not right now.
Come on, shout out to Mama or somebody now.
All right,
Mom gonna be saying, what?
So all my family members, my sister in Columbia, my brother in Lawrence, and my sister, my brother-in-law, and my nephew up in New Hampshire, and then my parents at home with me.
Excellent. And so who do we have here?
My name is Tim Glaser. I'm a senior defensive lineman.
So we got the offense and we got the defense
Yes,
here.
sir.
Hey, tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've played football for almost my whole life. Started in 1st grade, playing for my brother's team.
Been on the line all that time?
I have. Actually, no, I started off as a running back all the way until 5th grade, and then I gained a lot of weight. There was weight limits for CYO, so
You got
I
to be
became a lineman.
sumo.
Yep.
How was your season last year?
It was pretty good.
The
Last year,
defense. Yeah.
it was the first time of me starting.
What was that like? Tell our audience what that was like, that first game that you got a chance to start.
The first game we played Columbia Rockbridge. It was about like 100 degrees.
Did you play here? Or?
We played here, yep.
All right.
And I think it was the first couple plays I got my first tackle, and that's when I really was like, I love this.
See, we're moving Cascade Sports. Spectrum is backing out of high school sports, and we'll be down in Columbia in the next 2 weeks, and St. Louis. We're opening offices in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
So that you'll be able to look at some of your competition this year before you
Yes, sir.
play them. So, getting back to this interview, what do you got scheduled in your mind for this season?
I hurt my knee in practice, tore my MCL. It should be back maybe the first game. For sure, the second game. Just rehabbing right now.
Do you
Should
consider
be better.
yourself a leader on defense?
Yes, sir, I do.
Tell me this, with Cascade Sports being home of the student athlete, how important do you feel your education is?
My education plays a role on and off the field. You have to be smart to play. You also have to be smart to make it in life. So Rockhurst does a really good job of preparing us for the real world.
Excellent. Who has been some of the major influences in your life?
My grandpa, he's a big influence on me.
What's his name?
Gene Knatzer.
All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to you,
Shout out.
Gene.
Yes, sir. He's always just taught me from a little kid to respect people, respect who they are. You know, people grow up different everywhere. You know, we all live the same life and just enjoy it.
I love that
Sure.
answer. Are you shouting out?
Shout out my grandpa, and I'd like to shout out my family, my brother especially. Thank you for showing me how to get here. Love you, man.
All right, both of you. I'm gonna ask you this, and then I'm coming back to you. What advice would you give to a young freshman that's coming in?
Work hard, you know, you gotta earn it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'd say work hard and keep with it. I think a lot of kids, they face adversity, they have a tendency to kind of shy away from it, but just embrace it. And if you work hard, especially at this school, you do all the things that the coaches tell you to do. They've been here for a long time. They know what they're doing. If you just follow their lead, they'll take you where
They'll take you where you want to go. All right, it's a pleasure having you on the show, and we look forward to covering some of your games this year.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.